everyone. Welcome to the 3W podcast. I'm Casey Oakley, as always, but I've got my dear friend here, Tina Winham.
Thank you for having me.
I'm so excited you're joining me. Thank you tons.
So fun.
Yes. So Tina has lots of accolades, all the things. But currently today, as she sits here, she is with Conair.
Yes.
Okay. But first, how did we meet?
So Junior League.
It's been
Junior League. It was a long time. I don't really
like 100
about this. And then also Women with a Mission, because we were on the initial start of the Giving Circle with Linda Phillips.
Yes. We do all things that Linda says.
All things, always.
All things, yes.
For Linda.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't think there's a thing that Linda has asked me to do that I've said no to.
Well, I have followed her to every nonprofit she has been out. So, and then I'm like, do we follow her in retirement? Yeah. I think we do.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yes. Yeah, we'll just go on trips with her and Joe.
This is our year.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Junior League. Okay, so I moved here in 2006 and I joined Junior League in Tulsa. So I affiliated like it's a sorority or whatever. So when did you start in Junior League? So I probably was like jumping into it in fall of
maybe a little bit before you.
Okay.
But I don't remember the exact year, but I think a little bit before you.
Okay. And then I was quickly put on a committee with your dear friend, Leela. Touch a Truck. It was the very first Touch a Truck.
Yes.
I ironically proud to say that is still going on.
Yes, it sure is.
Which is so wild. Yeah. Okay. So you think it's okay. And Junior League, wow.
I mean, can you think of...
No,
those were the two that came to mind.
And then Fast Friends, and then nonprofits.
Yes.
And all the vendor world.
Yes.
And all the events.
Yes.
So that's probably how y'all know Tina, because Tina is always pageant waving at all
my gosh,
around town. More than me.
No, not more than
100%, but more than me.
I think we have a similar heart for giving.
Absolutely, because you were a champion of charity, or whatever we called it back in the dark ages, in the early 3W days. Yes, and that was one of my favorite things. You have like a leather dress in your photo shoot.
So cool. I remember thinking that was like the biggest honor, and it was just so cool to be a part of that.
I still love that. And now we've changed it to leading ladies, and I was actually like making it, working on the list for 25, and I'm like, how soon is too soon to bring it back in? Because you are a leading lady, you are a champion of charity in Northwest Arkansas. We're going to dive deeper into that, but I think you have a servant's heart.
100%. I think I do too, and I strive for that, but I think that's what we have in common.
I love that. And you're a native.
Yes.
To Benton County.
Yes.
Which is even odder around here. I
was working on this not very long ago to try to see working on how long my family has been in Arkansas, and I was able to trace it back. So I'm a fourth generation Arkansan, which makes Lexi a fifth generation.
Yes.
So we've been here a long time, and I've just been very fortunate, and I've never had to leave Northwest Arkansas.
How odd is that?
It's odd. I think that it's definitely odd, because it's very, very few times that I run into people here that are actually from here. So I think it's rare, especially this space.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I had coffee this morning with a dear friend who's in the nonprofit world, but she's actually from Fort Smith. Mm-hmm. And we were talking about the Fort Smith stereotype and all the things. And she's like, you got to remember back in the day, Fort Smith was a big city. Mm-hmm. And then like Rogers and Bentonville were like country.
Yes.
Back in the 80s.
Yes.
She was like, you did not come up here. You like came to Fort Smith to do the things that you needed to do.
That's so true.
And I was like, oh, I mean, I didn't know that. She's like, yeah, Little Rock and Fort Smith. This up here was just country.
Yes, I remember.
And I didn't know anything.
We would say we needed to go to town, and that was Benton. And now I'd say it's not really a town. Although it still has the feel of a town.
It's got the square.
Yeah, it has
very
a square.
Townsy. But when I moved here, they're like, oh, it's on the square. And I'm like, what's a square? I didn't know what a square was. So now I love the square. And I've been in like, everybody has these squares. Like, Regis doesn't really have a square, but I'm like, they kind of have their roads. And I'm like, and then Springdale's got their little pretend square.
Yes.
Fayetteville. And I'm like, y'all got squares over here. It's so great. I love it.
So funny. I kind of wonder what will happen in Rogers, since the tornado, and they're going to rework things. Mm-hmm. I wonder what the downtown area will
I know. It's
like.
Weird.
Yeah.
Wild to drive down there now.
Yes.
Like, so my youngest goes to school on the edge of downtown Rogers. Mm-hmm. And I haven't made that drive in couple of months, and I had to make it recently, and I was like, the landscape is wildly different. It's heartbreakingly different, but they're going to come back bigger.
It is heartbreakingly different. I do love that they're leveraging this as an opportunity to
Absolutely.
completely do potentially a facelift and just change
Like
the
the
trajectory
Phoenix,
of
right?
Yeah, exactly. I love that. I love
Yeah.
reading that. I think that's really cool.
So Gravit.
Yes.
Is that where the like funky hardware store is?
So I haven't been there, but I have, because there's like candy and stuff too, right? Yeah,
I
definitely
amazing
heard about
place.
it, and my mom still lives there, and so I should make an effort to do that when I see her. But I haven't done it. But I've heard it's like super funky and cool and
It's
different.
all the things.
Yeah, all the
Yeah,
things.
there's really no word.
I like where I live now, which is close to where we are at this moment. I have found myself not leaving.
Do you not leave your radius? No. You're like, oh my gosh, that's across town. I cannot make it.
Possibly do it. Yeah, but it's so funny because growing up in Gravity, you'd go to town in Bentonville. That was a solid 20 minutes, and then going to Fayetteville to the mall at the time.
That's a day trip.
Yeah, it's like a day trip. Now it's a major inconvenience if I have to go 15 minutes. It's like I got a plan for it and reroute my calendar. It's insane.
So I was telling you about a girlfriend who's going to be on the podcast real soon, and she's down in Fayetteville, and she's like, plans everything around if she has to make the trek to Canada, which this is Canada. That's like, well, that is so good. I love that.
That's so funny.
Yes.
I do tease my friends that live in Fayetteville, like if they need to do a layover on the way out. I got to do like a little stop off to
You're like driving square up in Bentonville, lay out over your place.
Exactly. And then go ahead and drive on in the morning, when stay light.
Pampered.
Yes.
Real pampered.
Yes, exactly. So it's
Sports
insane
around
how
here really
things have changed.
Yeah. How about you've seen it really grow up. Not grow up, explode.
For sure. Like all of this was pasture. Like it's insane.
Crazy to me.
That is crazy.
And then you didn't leave.
No.
And you just continued to crush it. Okay.
Yes.
So Con Air.
Yes.
Couple years?
Yeah, 2.5 years.
Okay. Coming up on 3.
It's been amazing. I love the beauty space. It's so fun.
Okay. Well, it's way down in my list of things to talk about, but you're such a girly girl.
Yes.
And I'm like, for you to go to Con Air, I was like, that is so fitting. Like all the
I thought the same thing too, because my career path was completely different. And when I had an opportunity to come to Con Air and be in PD, I was like, how have I not been in PD?
You've not been
I
there.
love it. I love it. I love all of the things that, and a lot of it goes back to like self-confidence and just helping women believe in themselves. But I love it. And so I don't know how I wasn't in the space before now, but I am.
Walk in a Walmart, the left side is yours. Well, at least in like our Walmarts around here, like the left side is yours.
Yes.
I mean,
it's like
that's where you belong.
Take care of your insides and then get to beauty for all this.
Yes,
exactly. It's so fun.
That's where you were destined to be, I feel like.
I no longer go to the right. No longer for groceries.
Not over here. No, somebody can bring it to me, but I will go over here.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's just dive down into Con Air, even though we're going to skip some stuff because we'll come back to like Servant's Heart. But Con Air, like all the details, let's talk about, okay, first of all, let's educate people because Con Air, which I did not know, so I will throw myself right under that bus. Cuisinart.
Oh my gosh, I know. That is like a surprise, I think, for everyone.
Totally
because when I say, well, Con Air owns Cuisinart, and everybody's like, what?
I mean, hair and blenders don't go together.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Yeah, one would think. I don't
Right?
know the history of the particular acquisition of when we acquired Cuisinart, but it is interesting. It's fun for me.
Do you even know, because I could not find, you may know, what the word even means.
Yes. So this
okay.
is the legend.
Okay.
So I in full transparency, I have not had it confirmed, but what I've been told is
I love
is that
story because I do it
Lee
all the time.
Rizzuto that started the company, he invented the blow dryer basically, and the blow dryer is conditioned air, and so Con Air came from that, and then just exploded and went into a lot of other things. But that is the story that I've been told.
I like that because that was nowhere I could find that information. And
then once I heard that conditioned air, like Con Air, okay, now I get it. Because I had assumed when I was interviewing that it was more around a person's name or something that was close and near and dear to their heart. But I think this actually is more plausible.
Wow.
But it has not been
I
confirmed.
feel like a mind blown emoji, like conditioned air. So he invented the hairdryer, kind of?
Yes.
I did not find that in my search history either.
My understanding is one of the first ones that you could actually like take with you. You didn't have to be in a beauty salon. You can actually
the big
on the go. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. I didn't know that.
I mean, clearly there could be somebody listening that wants to disagree with that.
That's okay. But I like it. It's
I like it too. But
let's stick with that.
Yeah, let's stick with that.
Oh my gosh.
Somebody
And like
disputes.
Yeah. And like 19 something, like 1959.
Yes.
So how do you say the name Leandro?
Internally, they always just say Lee Rizzuto.
Oh, Lee Rizzuto. Okay.
Yeah.
And he sold his Cadillac to fund the company. Did you know that?
No, I didn't. But I think that's...
Or his family did or something like this. And I was like, well, that is, I don't know. It was just like, we're going to sell the Cadillac and we're all in on this manufacturing situation.
Kind of makes you think about what you own today.
I know. I'm like, wow.
Like, what could I
barter off? Yes.
Start
I don't
a company.
know.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, and now it's so divested or divested.
Mm-hmm.
I probably just butchered that. Whatever. Like you've got Cuisinart, you've got Conair. How do you say this? I say Babyliss. Now, when I pull up the website, it does not.
I say Babyliss.
Babyliss.
I have heard it said a lot of different ways.
Okay. And then Scuncy.
Yep.
Which I always butcher and say scrunchy.
Yes. Well, I mean,
because
scrunchies are in it.
Yes. Yes. So I'm like,
yes.
And then wearing.
And wearing, yeah, which would be like Cuisinart, but for professionals.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And then, but let's go back to Scuncy because I feel like that's what you have put in 3W for several years. And
yes.
Influencer partnerships, etc. So
Scuncy is all about fashion. So it's all about fun. And so it's been really cool to work with Walmart. I love it. And spent like a Walmart in there, I shouldn't say new, but their trajectory in terms of bringing elevated fashion to the shopper. Mm-hmm. Like Scuncy is exactly that.
Right.
And so we've been able to work
on...
What is
this word?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. That'll be my next homework project. Okay. I should figure out where it came from and what it's...
But it's all over the aisles.
Yeah. Yeah, it's great. We have a very healthy business around the globe, actually. I'm responsible for the Walmart business, and it's been wonderful to work on like how to elevate fashion. So basically, when you're watching award shows or you're watching your favorite celebrities or anything of the such, and you see these amazing hairstyles or products in their hair, like that's what we're working on. Like, how can we bring that to the everyday shopper at Walmart and give them an opportunity to have elevated fashion, but at a value? So it's fun.
Yeah,
it's so fun.
Seeing your dollar save money, save money, live better. Yes. Yeah. Okay, well, speaking of that, elevated fashion, Scuncy plays big time. Am I saying that right? Mm-hmm. Okay, I feel like I'm butchering it every time.
Nope.
They play big time in the community.
Yes, thanks. Cheers. We should cheers.
We should cheers. Yeah. Cheers.
Yes, so that's something that I've always been passionate about with the companies that I have had the fortune to work with in the past, and currently with Conair, is making sure that we show up for our community. Mm-hmm. And so it's been fun to be able to leverage that and see how we can support our Walmart partners, but do it in a fun way in our community. So that Fashion Week is how that shows up.
Yeah,
I had literally probably had just been on had just started with Conair maybe 30 days in, and I immediately called Robin, the CEO.
Oh, who has taken Fashion Week to the next level.
Yes, who I just love her. And I was like, Robin, like, I'm with Conair. I was going through the spiel, and I'm like, this needs to be a part of Fashion Week. We got to figure this out. Like, what can we do? Because hair is fashion.
Yes.
And so historically, Fashion Week, and rightfully so, has always been about the designers and the clothing.
Absolutely.
And sometimes cosmetics and beauty in that space, but it's like hair too is art. Hair too is a statement, and it's very much beauty. And she was so gracious and was like, okay, let's figure this out. And we did. And so we've been a strong partner for the last, since I've been here, 2.5 years.
It's been marching down the runway.
Yes. And I love it. Yeah. It's so fun. It's something that I really look forward to being a part of and being on. Like, I'm front row every single show, just like all smiles, just watching these designers bring this wonderful fashion down the aisle. But then also, like, I'm frantically taking pictures of hair.
Absolutely.
Because it's amazing to see what the hair designers that are working with the designers to bring their
products.
Yes. And then how they bring hair into really art, how they make it.
Yeah, it's like a constant reinvention.
Yes. And so it's so fun. So it's like something that's been great.
And then we get all the clips and all the things.
Yes.
Like, I personally benefit from your partnerships with nonprofits from goodie bags.
Yes.
I'm always leaving.
I love
products.
being able to put some of our new innovation or new product into swag bags. It's just fun.
Okay, well, speaking of, what is the big thing for fall?
Bows.
We're still on bows?
We're still on bows.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, lots of bows. I think bows will probably carry us through the holidays, to be honest.
Okay.
So there might be different iterations of what that looks like, but bows are still very hot. I was just in Paris a couple weeks ago and was also, I love people watching in general.
Right.
And was being able to, I know it is.
I wish I could
that
get paid
is
to
a
people
job.
watch.
I know, right? So I know.
I went
and
to
then Tom take your
dance
shirt,
and I was like, I went to the Tate McRae concert at the AMP, and it was amazing people watching junior high kids.
I bet it was amazing.
Wow, this is something.
But bows are still big, and it's everybody has their own take on them. So it's interesting to see how it comes to life in a hairstyle. But
I feel like they're simple.
Yes, and elegant, and so a lot of
instead of the cheap bow type.
Yes, entirely different.
Or like the baby bow. Like I didn't have a girl. A girl will touch on that, but I'm like, I always wanted a girl, so I put
Oh, I know.
freaking band on her and all the bows.
Can't even imagine.
I didn't get that, but that's okay.
Bows.
So, but I'm like, this is like such a simple bow.
It is, and it can just totally elevate the look. You can do a simple pony and just add a bow. You can do your hair down and add a bow. It's just these little touches, I think, that are just so cool. But that's what's happening right now. And then we do a lot of work in trends, like seeing what colors and fabrications and things like that are coming. And so we have a lot of exciting things that you'll get to see in 25.
So what's the big color for fall or holiday?
It's interesting.
Holiday, pretty standard.
Holiday, I would say somewhat standard. It's always jewel tones for the most part, with, I would say, inflections of gold and silver in some way. What does change is the application, meaning like sometimes it's more velvet, sometimes it's more sparkly, sometimes it's more subdued. It can kind of depend, like satin. It can depend on what's happening at the moment in fashion, but it almost always is some form of a jewel tone.
Right.
Yeah.
And then just traditional fall colors for
Yes.
Yes. Stephen?
Yep.
Okay. I love that.
I know it's fun.
Any 25 stuff you want to tease or no?
I don't know if I can.
Hey, then we'll just keep the lid on that. Okay.
But we're working on a lot of cool stuff, and I'm anxious for everything to launch in spring at 25.
Ooh, I can't wait. Yeah. Okay, how about tools? Because I just got the best hair dryer from you a couple months ago.
Yes.
And I got to go buy one in a week or two for my mother-in-law because she loves it, and I can get it at Walmart. So double whammy.
I know. I think my counterpart actually manages tools, and she has done a fabulous job at being able to help bring technology and innovation into Walmart, which is and fabulous.
Yes.
But the blow dryer that you're talking about is amazing. It's like lightweight. It'd be like a Dyson dupe.
Yes.
Like it's just so cool.
It is great.
Yeah. And at, much more affordable price.
Yes, and very accessible.
Yeah, very accessible.
Yes. I love that. Yeah. Okay. Oh, gosh. So you are specifically on Scentsy. Is that correct?
And Conair. But Conair more on the brushes and grooming and cosmetic bags.
Oh, let's talk about those.
Yeah. So the way Conair is set up, we're set up in different divisions. And so my division is responsible for all things hair, but nothing that requires power. That might be the
okay.
But yeah,
trend of brushes then?
Yeah. So we have lots of, actually we have a really healthy business in brushes. It's great. So, and those are all branded Conair, and then we have cosmetic bags, and they have there's several brands.
Oh, well, that is like a whole wild world, right?
I know it is.
I feel like all the I'm going to butcher it, AMSR, ASMR, the packing and the unpacking and all the whatever. Yes. And I'm like, it's all about the container, the product is in, and the clippity clap, and then the bag it goes in.
Yes.
So that must be unexpected and crazy right now for y'all.
Yeah, it is. And I think there's a lot of opportunity to where fashion has been, but continues to move quicker into things like cosmetic bags. So a lot of what you're seeing on runways will translate to cosmetic bag, or not. So it's cool.
It is. I love that. I love
tying the hair accessory. I know, it's so fun.
I know. I mean, your face kind of lights up.
It's fun.
It is. I love this for you. I'm like, oh, when I found out you were there, I was like, oh, this is like the best for you. I love this. Maybe a little bit more fun than water sometimes.
Right. Yeah,
Or a floaty.
Yeah, might be a floaty.
Yeah, a little bit more fun. Okay, now let's touch on you. So U of A,
Yes.
and then you went back recently and got your master's.
Yes.
MBA?
Yes.
Okay, because you got a fabulous Gucci bag for graduation.
Yes.
I love that.
I would actually consider going back to a gift like that. Like, what?
Again.
It's funny because I am definitely a lifelong learner, so I would not put it past me to think of another.
You're like,
another degree.
I need another master's or
Exactly.
just go get your PhD so we can call
I
you
know,
Dr.
right?
Tina.
Yes.
I would love that. Okay, married
Yes.
to Jeff and
Yes.
then one daughter.
Yeah.
Pride and Joy,
Yes.
24.
Yes.
And you know what I think is so fun is because I've known you for so long. So she was real little. Well, what year was she born? Because I don't do math.
20.
20. Yes. She's 24. Yes. Okay. See, again, don't do
I
math.
said 20. We need to cut that. It's 2000.
2020.
I meant 2 years.
I was tracking though. That's exactly. She was born in 20.
Yeah, exactly. So she is opposite of Benjamin Button.
2000. But I was right there.
I was just thinking of the first two numbers.
The first two numbers. Oh my God, I love that. Now I'm like, what in the world do you think my train of thought was? Who even knows? Okay, so I moved here in 06, so she would have been, 6 or 7 when I met you. And to follow her along on your social media, like to watch her go to Haas and graduate, and then she's gone to college and joined a sorority and got a great degree, I feel like in business.
Actually in apparel studies.
Okay, I made that up.
And then,
This is what I do. I make all the things up.
I think that's lovely.
And she works for a business. That goes well.
Yes.
But and she walked in Fashion Week multiple years, which I think is
did.
kind of like full circle. Like y'all's paths, that's where I'm getting. They're overlapping, and I think it's crazy and awesome and unique and just all the things. Because unless it's like a family business, most generations don't work together. And
That's
so
true.
I think it's kind of cool.
I hadn't really thought about that, but that is so true. Yes.
Well, I think it like dawned on me when I saw a post, or maybe you shared it. I don't even know, because I'm not friends with her on social media because that would be weird. She doesn't know me, but it's like weird stalker. But she was sharing something at a Walmart meeting. Yes. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like in the fashion, like a swimsuit or something.
Yes,
I feel like,
that's why she's an associate merchant in swimsuits.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and we always need a scrunchie for our kids.
I know, right?
With a swimsuit.
Yes.
And I'm like, your worlds, I don't know if they really are overlapping or if it's just in my head.
To make them overlap. That's why I'm like, okay, this swimsuit totally needs some matching hair product.
Absolutely.
Like, we need to, that we could do a cosmetic bag in that same print. Like, we need to.
The whole thing.
Exactly. Like, this person needs to, all of it. And then you should work with the towel vendor and like have a matching towel. And then, yes. And she's always like,
down the
I think I got this. Just some ideas. But
just feel free to poach it.
Exactly.
I'm here when you need me.
Exactly.
But I love this for y'all. I don't know if she loves it as much as like
I'm not
you
sure.
and I do.
Exactly.
I love this for you.
But I do love it also.
Asset. Well, I think you're a complete badass anyway.
Oh, thank
so
I think
just same to you. Oh, so sweet. But I don't believe you. I believe you. I just don't believe that. But that's okay. But I'm like, you are someone I've always looked up to for years. You're never not working, never not learning, never not all the things and investing and serving. So I'm like, she has such an amazing role model to learn from. And I think that is so neat that y'all can like overlap. So cool. And I know I've seen her like at a Next Step event or whatever, which you're super involved in and we'll touch on. But I'm like, oh my, I just think that is crazy. You don't look like you should have a 24-year-old that either. We're like,
thank you.
Very close in age, only 2 years apart, and yet I have a 10-year-old. So, like, it's just, I'm still carpooling, and you're, like, having happy hour with her. So, it's
your days are coming. Yes.
But I love this for the two of you. I just think that is so...
It was fun at Fashion Week this year because Robin did a whole collection with Walmart that was on swim. And so being able to be there with her and to see, like, I'm looking at all the hair and definitely documenting what's happening there. And then her face just totally lights up as swimsuits walk down the aisle from Walmart.
Like a sense of pride. Like
Yes, and it was just so cool to see, like, her.
You got to watch that.
Yes, it was just cool to see her, like, what she had been working on and her vision, like, literally come to life on a runway. So it was cool.
Oh, that's not normal.
I know. She should be really proud. I hope she is proud of herself. I'm proud of her.
I love this.
Yes.
Okay, well, next up.
Yes.
Okay, so many. So I have that written down. So many accolades. We already, and I'm literally, I don't even know if I should mention them because I will probably leave some out.
No.
So I'm not going to, but I will talk about next up. That you have been, I feel like you're just rolling off as a grand poobah.
Actually rolling in. So
I make that up? Okay. It gets very confusing.
Executive chair.
Okay.
Next year I'll be the chair.
Oh, the chair. I'm so sorry. Leela was a grand poobah.
Yes.
That's what, okay.
I'm just trying to follow in Leela's footsteps.
For sure. They're
Like,
really good
aren't we all?
footsteps.
Exactly.
Follow it.
Exactly.
Not gonna lie. Okay, yes. But you've held so many different positions in so many different
Yes.
nonprofit. Well, you did share Circle of Red.
Yes.
For the American Heart Association. So maybe that's what I'm confusing it with. But
Yes.
yeah. So what committee are you on for next step? What did you just say? You're
over all of it.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. I'm like, yeah, that one.
Yeah. You name it, and I should be helping in some way. So it's
Really, what it's not
very
okay. So who's the grand poobah for this year? Is it Allison?
Kimberly McGee.
Oh, it's Kimberly.
And then Allison Van Mater comes up next year as the co. And then
and Kimberly McGee.
Yeah.
Were you all duos and something?
we both served on the junior league board together. I've known Kimberly forever, so it's been really
She's
fun.
another badass in the community.
Yes.
I hope I meet her on. Right? So, like, this is a shout out to her. Like, jump in here.
Yes.
Yeah, I do love her. She has really great fashion sense.
She does. I mean, every time we're on a Zoom call, even just last night, I'm like, what are you wearing?
Yeah,
like, this is so cute.
Right.
And she has to stand up on the Zoom call and show me what she's wearing. But I'm just like, I just wonder what her house, like, she has a room that's a closet, and I have to imagine that's entirely filled. And where I'm trying to figure out how to live in a capsule wardrobe, which my friend Leila is excellent at.
I don't have that skill.
And I'm trying to get there, and it's super hard. And I think Kimberly is in
A really big
yes,
a huge
yeah, exactly. And so, yeah, I think it's pretty amazing.
I love her style. I don't have capsule wardrobe in my skill set.
I don't either. I've been trying, but
That's good.
It's super hard.
It's just
I like acquisition.
I'll do that for everyone else.
I love that. I should get that. I need that.
I need that.
Yes.
And I will like it. It will be super fun.
Yes.
That's hilarious.
Yes.
Okay, so next up, so in 25, you're going to be the grand poobah. Is that what I'm hearing? Okay. Yay, you.
I know. I'm excited.
I know. That's kind of awesome.
Yeah.
And then we have an event.
Yes.
Yeah.
Women's Empowerment Summit.
Yes, thank you, because we're in July right now. Well, this will air in August, and then Women's Empowerment Summit is in September.
Yes.
Yes.
Our biggest event. You're
you
big supporter of that. Not yet.
Okay,
but you will be
still under wraps.
excited about what we are doing. I think we're going to start sharing in 2 weeks, actually.
Okay.
But it's going to be good. And thank you for all your support.
Oh, I love this event.
Definitely Women's Empowerment Summit.
Yes.
Because that is our signature event. And I feel like the audience that we're able to attract, I mean, it's just such a wonderful opportunity to have women and men from all over the place come to this event and be exposed to the great work that
it's a very inspiring morning.
I think it's very inspiring too.
And it takes place during the LPGA golf tournament. So
and having them as a partner is amazing.
I know.
It is
kind of fun.
They
go out to the tournament.
Yes.
For like a little snack and a little golf course section, and then Zach and peace on out. I know. It's a great day.
It is a great day.
It was really a good day. And then we touched on Junior League, and I feel like you've done stuff with the women's shelter way back in the day. And then we both serve on Mercy's Women with a Mission. And then we always followed Linda to the children's shelter, all the places. And
now retirement.
We're going to go on vacation with her.
Yes, exactly.
And then, lots of fancy things, I think. like leadership stuff. Leadership Arkansas, am I butchering that?
No, that's correct.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I love it.
Like the coolest year in Little Rock.
Yes, it was so fun. So I had done leadership Benton County several years ago. So for anyone that's interested, it's like amazing because it gives you an opportunity to learn about the community. And actually, it's the full county. So you get to see it from different angles, from an education perspective, from what's happening in the nonprofit space, from the big businesses that are here, what they're doing, and just the community in its entirety for, I think it's roughly like 9 months. And then Leadership Arkansas is the same idea, but it's for the whole state. And so it was so cool. So you'd go to different parts of the state. And I'm from here. Like I just covered earlier. Yes.
Yeah.
That I'm a 4th generation Arkansan and did not have any idea of certain parts of the state that I just had never been to. Outside of Little Rock. It was so cool to learn like the neat stuff that we do here in Arkansas. So.
See, I think everybody should be educated on that.
Yes,
because I'm like, I don't know.
Highly recommend it.
Whenever someone says, I shouldn't even say first. Like within the first 10 years I lived here, someone say something like, yes, a title. And I'm like, is that a street? Is it a county? Or is it a town?
Yes.
Like, give me a frame of reference. Because a lot of people talk in counties around here, like
so funny.
4 counties. And I'm like, what city is in that county that I might have heard on the news? They're like Sebastian or Carroll. And I'm like, don't know. Give me a city. Or the nonprofits will handle. They work regionally, right? To like handle usually some 4 counties. And I'm like, just need a town.
That is so funny because my VP was here, who's amazing. I couldn't work for a better leader than what I have right now. She was here and it was during like tornado stuff. And she was like, it is not helpful when the alerts are going off and they're talking about Benton County. I have no idea where I am. I don't know where I am. Gonna see the street. Yeah, we're a city. Exactly.
Yes, thank you.
I was like, I've never thought about that, but it's always like what's happening in the counties. And if you're here, brand new here, or you're traveling here, you have no idea.
I'm not normally going back to the tornadoes in May. So I'm not normally worried about them. I'm from Oklahoma. Like we're just used to those.
Wizard of Oz. Yes.
And I was in the Joplin tornado in 2011. So I'm like, and fine. Like they scare me now after Joplin. But before that, I'm like, you go outside and look at them when you're in Oklahoma. So when that one was coming through, I remember it going off and it, Benton County, whatever. But I'm like, it's not the tiniest. So I'm like, whatever. But they set a school right around the corner from us. And I was like, I took that one serious. So I was like, okay, I know where that is. So, okay.
Yeah.
And thank goodness my oldest had just gone to that school. Otherwise, because my kids were in Catholic school, I didn't know where all the schools were until this year. So really, it wouldn't have mattered a year ago. So I was like, I know where that school is. That's real close. We head to that school. So everybody get down.
Yeah. We should probably go to a safe spot.
Yeah. Streets
That's
are
so funny.
Landmarks. People just need to give landmarks for everyone that's traveling.
I love landmarks.
Yes.
I need landmarks for driving directions.
Jeff
like all of it.
To you in north, south, east.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which
like Lewis and Clark. I don't know. Do I
no idea.
Chick-fil-A?
Exactly. Exactly. I have never been good at that.
Now, north. I know north and south, but you get me on east and west. I really have to look up and find the sun.
Yes, that's what I do too. Yes, exactly. I do too.
I love that. Okay. So, I like this one. What are I feel like I have a pulse on this one for you. What are your personal philanthropic pillars? What are Tina's? It's
all about supporting women and children.
Okay.
So everything that I do ladders up to that in some way. And it took me a long time to actually get there. So for the longest time,
do you know?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Actually,
because I don't have my own pillars yet.
For the longest time, and a part of it is because I grew up in a small community and then went to the University of Arkansas, and then I realized there was a much bigger world than what I had thought growing up. And so when people would ask me to get involved in things, I was so honored, and I was like, yes. So I said yes to everything. And before I knew it, I had zero time for myself or anything else because I was yes to everything. And I had to really take a step back and think through, okay, what is it that I want to contribute to? What do I want my legacy to be? And how can I make a difference instead of being spread so thin? How can I just hone in on the ones that are meaningful to me. And for everyone, it's different.
Absolutely.
So for me, it was, okay, how can I help women and children be successful and reach their potential? And so from that point on, anytime I've ever been asked to do something, it's an easy yes, no based on that.
Mm-hmm.
If it ladders up to support women and children, I'm in. If it doesn't, then I'm going to find like someone else that might be a better fit based on what their pillars are and what they want to achieve. And so I try not to have like a hard no,
Right.
but I definitely try to redirect to someone that would be a better fit. And also, I don't ever want to be a seat filler. Like I want to be a part of something. And so it's something that I'm always mindful of. But even you can get really busy.
Oh, it's so busy. Yes. I mean, we sit on multiple committees together. And so, and committee is not the same as a board, right? So there's many different facets of all the things.
True.
Okay. So, without naming the nonprofit, because I don't want to do that. But what has been the most memorable position?
I would say board chair helping a women's shelter. Has been by far the
well, you can pivotal. I'm like, I didn't know. Yes,
pivotal
I'm
moment.
Totally great for that.
For me, because it really gave me an opportunity to understand and to think through how to help women and families that are in domestic violence situations be able to see like a brighter future and see a path out. Because that is something that most women do not, because they're just in the moment, rightfully so. And so being able to walk alongside and
this was a long time ago.
It was, but that is by far the.
But I love that it's still way up there for you, like number one. Yes, because I'm like, this was years ago
for sure. Because that's like more like the grassroots level, like really helping a particular person see a brighter future and help them hope. Yes, exactly. And a lot of things that I know for you too, like a lot of the things that we do is more broad in scale. And we know we're helping people, but we may not have like a particular name of a person, a particular story. Exactly. And so this was a time for me where it was real and it really made me.
Was it hard?
It was super hard.
What's the chair position one year?
So many books. So I was on the board for 11 years and was
that's also a long time.
Yes, we kept rewriting the bylaws.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, I understand. I'm clearly so.
List out there if I really want to do this, and the work we were doing was so good. But I think the chair was a 1 year or 2 year. I can't remember, but it was meaningful, and I really gave it my all. So I read lots of books to try to understand. Like I learned so much during that time frame, like how your brains work and how you're wired, and how like things can happen in your life, and if they consistently happen negatively or positively, but in the situation negatively, you naturally, like that path becomes super easy to stay on. And so you have to really work to build out new pathways in your brain to train it to see things differently or to do something differently to get to a different outcome. That was like fascinating.
Wow. Always.
And so it was like, so it was an opportunity to really do that.
Are they in the current place or were they in the like secret, the old secret location?
Both. Started out in the old secret, and then towards the end of my tenure, that was one of the moves that we did. We were in the new place. But
I have not been to the new. I've been to the new place. Let me say that. I have not been. I went before it opened. I got like a tour of it before it opened, and I was blown away by it and the level of security and all the things. Given's not the right word, or provided to these families. And I say family because it's not just
no, typically it's families. Yeah.
And I was blown away.
Speaking of families, so I toured the Peace at Home family shelter.
Oh, it just,
oh my gosh.
It just expanded. It has a pet. I was going to say a pet cemetery. That's not the right word. Pet sanctuary.
How cool is that?
I mean,
that was like the coolest thing, because that is a hurdle that people,
I didn't even know that.
Families that are in those situations, like, can you imagine giving your animal? No.
So I was at the AFP luncheon. It'll be 2 years. So AFP luncheon is always in the fall, like November. I feel like I could be making that up. So it'll be 2 years ago this fall no, it wasn't the AFP. I totally made that up. It was the Peace at Home luncheon in the fall. Who the nonprofit and the pet thing is for. I'm sorry. But Candy Clark, who it's named after, it was at that luncheon, and she's passed away, but her partner, Teddy, announced all the things, and then she was also honored with an AFP award a month later posthumously. That's why I get them all confused. Anyways, that's where they kicked off fundraising or something for this pet sanctuary. And I had no idea that they had a survivor there.
Yes.
Talking about how she couldn't leave unless she got into a place that took an animal. She couldn't leave her abuser.
Yeah, I think it's a lot to ask someone to leave a situation and leave an animal behind.
I don't have, I guess thankfully I've never been in that position and I don't have the mindset. So I'm just like, oh, someone doesn't treat you well, get out. Like, but that's,
on the
female, whatever in me and in a lot of us. But oh my gosh, to think that a pet would keep you in a really wretched situation.
Right.
And now they have this amazing space for these animals.
Beautiful. I mean, it's like best friends level. Like, it's just beautiful.
How great is that? And something I would never think of. And so I think it's opening our eyes, because what if somebody's pillar was pets per se? Because it's a lot of them.
Yes.
But this is a different avenue. Best Friends is great. Humane Society of the Ozarks.
Yes.
All great.
Yes.
But what if pets is your thing and now there's more avenues for you to give?
Yes.
And provide.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. So cool.
Yeah.
And then they had this wall with everybody's pets and that had given, I'm assuming, at a
like Chewy's.
Yeah. It was so cool. I mean, it was just like, there was so much love that went into that. It was very cool.
I love that. Oh, I know. That was very unique.
I think so too.
Yeah. So women's shelter. Okay. And that's like kind of the women's shelter of Washington County-ish. Bit.
Oh, Pisa.
Yes,
Yeah, for sure.
Yes. So again, we're county division.
Yes.
And we have different names, but we're all here for the same mission.
Yes. And I would say for both shelters here, I mean, I don't know that there's truly limits on who they serve. I mean, I think that's one great thing about this community is in those two examples, I mean, they'll serve. You can come here from any state. It doesn't matter.
Oh, I know. How great is that?
Yeah, it's really cool.
I didn't even know that. I think I learned that day from that survivor. She was not from the state of Arkansas.
I think that's pretty amazing because that's not true for all shelters, but it is for the ones here.
Both of them?
Mm-hmm.
Did you learn that while you were there? Or serving on the board?
Serving for sure at the Northwest Arkansas Women's Shelter, and then just being involved with the Pisa home.
So that's not standard across the country.
Mm-hmm. No.
Interesting. I did not know that.
I know. I think so too. This community is just great.
I know. It is. It really is. So I think it was a couple years ago. I think it's 2 years ago, like in September, that I read an article that Benton County, and I'm sure somebody will debunk this, and that's completely fine. I do make things up all the time. I own that all. I own all of it. But I read that Benton County, Arkansas was the most giving per capita a couple years ago, for 1 year.
Totally see that.
Whatever. I don't even know.
I think we're so blessed to be here. I'd read that, but I could totally see that.
I mean, how great is that? I'm sure Washington County is right up there. So I'm not trying to dog.
There's also a study done about just nonprofits per capita, and we have a lot of
nuts
nonprofits here.
Like when Leslie and I started the magazine, I think years ago, Doug McMillan asked us, like, how many are in the two counties? And I think it was like 2,750, and it's not anywhere near that today. That also included your 4-H's and your churches and all the things. Sure. But I'm like, for two relatively small counties,
I agree.
Like, we're not 1 million population, I don't think. Well, I think we're like just above 500,000 for the two counties. Yes. And so I'm like, to have that many, we'll just say 3,000 plus at this point, nonprofits raising the amount of money that they do on a daily basis is amazing.
But I think that's also what's cool about this community too, is that once everyone understood that and realized, because it was really about, if you think about all those individual nonprofits, they all were created based on a need that they wanted to solve.
Yeah.
And then as more people became more aware of other people that might be working on a similar issue or the same issue, everybody, I think for the most part, has been very open to combining, creating because it's about the end result, eradicating whatever it is that your cause is. And so I think that's so cool. And that's, I think, one of the reasons why the nonprofit numbers have come down is because more people are pooling resources.
Collaboration over competition.
So smart.
Yes. Single parent scholarship fund.
Yes.
The one that comes right to my head.
That's a great
example. Counties combined. But I don't know, they all have a lane. And I say this to all of them that I meet. I hope all of them go out of business. Yes,
That's
they
the
all have to shut the doors.
should be
They
the
get
goal.
to, right? Because there's no need anymore.
I really feel like it's all about eradicating whatever the particular issue is, and that the end goal
That's the
should be
bye
to work yourself out of a job.
Yes,
because
I
you've
love
done
that.
such a great job.
I know.
Your service is no longer needed. To me, that's like real success.
Oh,
there.
I just like pat on the back,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
You're like, bye.
Exactly.
I'm going to the beach.
Yeah. Exactly.
I love. Okay, and then you're a fierce traveler.
I love
Just
traveling.
got back.
Yes.
And also, I just want to make everyone mad because you've seen Taylor Swift twice. So it was so fun. It's so great. You're like, and I saw her before the Tortured Poets Department.
I know.
And
Yes,
Tortured
yes.
whatever. And then you're like, oh, her boyfriend, whatever his name is, he was there. I'm like, okay,
My friends that are
everybody knows his
solid
name.
Kansas City Chiefs fans are going to be really upset with me. But I didn't remember his name. But he was there, and so it was
so
cool.
great.
And
You
so
were
she was serenading him, and I could not figure out what she was doing. And then finally it dawned on me, oh my God, yes, of course. That makes
That one guy that
perfect
does
sense
the
now.
thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That one guy that catches balls. That might be him. I love that. But I love to live vicariously through your socials because I'm still in carpool. And you are jetting across the pond. That's a record.
It wasn't always like that. So
But you have fabulous friends and you're just eating at fabulous restaurants. I mean, not, okay, we love acquiring, right? We already said that we love acquiring.
Love
But
acquisition
you know
mode.
what? You're also acquiring all these awesome memories.
Yes.
And I love that. Like experiences.
Yes.
Like all the nonprofits that have all the events. They're like, here's our auction. And I'm like, that is so great. What experiences are you bringing to the table? Because I'm like, at this point, I don't want to buy a silent. I want to buy experiences. At
I
their
agree. That's
auctions,
exactly where I'm at.
So I live vicariously through all your experiences.
I actually bid on one at Kiss a Pig, and it's an exchange. We're going to Rosemary Beach in October.
Oh,
and I
that's so great.
But I'm like, yes, this is what it's about. You give money, you help this wonderful cause, and you have an experience.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm super excited about it.
Also, you're going to need to post it because if you don't post that you went to 38, did it really happen?
Oh, that's so true. That's so true.
It's like going to Bentonville.
Yeah, that's true.
Or it's like going to Northwest Arkansas.
I have to learn how to do reels and all of that. Yeah.
It's so hard. It takes me an hour to create a reel. And Ashley, she's shorter than me, so she can figure it out in like a half hour. I'm like, oh, this is hard.
I think it's hard too. So,
and it takes me so long. The music just keeps playing on a loop, and usually my 14-year-old's like, oh my god, get it done. I work
that's just into. Oh my god, that's so funny.
You're an extremely loyal friend.
Yes, so I consider friends my family. I put you in that ram too. Family. Yeah, so I love it, and I think that's like pretty cool for anyone. Like you can create your own. I don't know.
You can your own circle.
Yeah, exactly.
Speaking of that, I went to see New Kids on the Block.
I missed it,
and your friend was in line with me. So
I saw the picture. I saw the picture. Yeah.
So Michelle and I are standing there. So she had bought these meet and greet tickets, okay? And you had to get there what felt like the crack of dawn. Not really. It was like 3 o'clock, but that's really early.
It was very early.
It's a long time to be at the end.
Yes.
And we had to form a group with 6 or 8 people in order, I think it was 6, to go into the meet and greet, okay? So everyone's like standing outside the amp trying to form their groups with all kinds of random numbers of people showing up, okay? We're just 2. Michelle's like running this, so I just kind of stood back, and she's like, are y'all 2? And you're 2? Okay, great. We're now a group. And Misty goes, are you Casey? Are you Tina's friend? And I was like, but she had sunglasses on, and I just couldn't tell who it was.
That's
and
so
I was
funny.
like, yeah, and she told me who she was. I was like, oh my God, I met you at Tina's birthday party.
That is so funny.
And I'm like, small world.
It is.
You're kind of like a little Kevin Bacon.
No.
Yes.
That would be more you.
No. Yeah. But I'm like, how great is this? And then, and she was with her friend, Casey.
Yes. I think that's her best friend.
Ironically.
Yes. That she was.
And so then we compared spellings on our name and if we're called Cassie and how there's no ass in our name. So we were like all fast friends right there.
Yeah,
like,
immediately.
So great.
That would definitely fast track that.
Yeah, it's the circle of Tina. I love this.
That's funny.
Okay, and then you're an extreme dot connector, which you already said. Because
I
if you
love
do
that.
say
I wish
no,
that was a job because I would be a connector.
100%.
I get so much like energy and love out of like being able to somebody say, "Oh, I'm working on this. I kind of need to figure this out." Oh, I know you need to. Let me connect you with so and so. That is like,
Yeah, I don't need anything, but I would love for you to be fast friends and hug on each other.
yes, exactly.
Yes.
But I feel like you're a connector as well. I think we're surrounded by a lot of connectors.
I know. I love it.
Nice. Yeah.
But you already said that you alluded to it. Like if you don't 100% say yes to a nonprofit, and I'll say that because even though you might say no, it's not a zero. Your no was never a zero.
No.
Right? You're like, no, but I will connect you with somebody who I think has the skill set that you're looking for.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I love that.
I do too.
Okay. So fierce friend. And that definitely goes with loyal friend. I love that. Oh, and we already touched on this. Extreme fashionista, to where I bet people today who meet you today don't know that you co-founded. She said yes.
Yeah, with my best friend, Brandy.
Who's in Texas.
Now, she's in Houston. She is living her best life. She's killing it. She's so cute. She is like the most precious soul. But
Yeah.
So it's a lot of fun.
Back in the day.
And that still exists today, of course, not under completely new ownership. But it is nice to be able to drive by and see that and know that it still exists. It's cool.
So, small world. I was in Tulsa. This was pre-06. So when did I want to say you started it in 04-ish?
I think 04.
Okay. And a girlfriend in the office next to me. So I worked for a local magazine over there, a monthly publication called Tulsa People Magazine. And I don't know if I've ever even told you this story. So my girlfriend next to me, Anne, in the desk in the office next to me, was getting married. And all of a sudden, these ads showed up for She Said Yes in Tulsa People.
Mm-hmm.
Were they advertising Vera Wang?
Yes.
Okay.
That was like our...
Okay, yeah, it was a huge deal. And I'm like, what are these ads? And this is just, I don't know, journalism nerd something. But they were like 1/3 squares is what I can picture them as. Advertising Vera Wang. And I don't know if she came over for a fitting or not. Or a shop, whatever. I don't remember. But she was like, yeah, this store in Rogers. It was in Rogers, I feel like, right?
Yes.
Okay. In Rogers is carrying these Vera Wangs. And this was before I was even slated to move here. And I was like, what? My husband was living here, but we weren't married. But he was living here working and driving back and forth. And I'm like, well, this is what? There's a store in a small town in Arkansas, because I'd only probably ever heard of Bentonville because of Walmart, but didn't know what Bentonville was.
Yes.
And then Little Rock. And I'm like, there's this store that's carrying Vera Wang. To me, that was like the creme de la creme.
I couldn't agree more.
Okay.
And that's exactly how we set it up. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, this is so wild. And then I feel like, I don't know if Tulsa People did a story or if Celebrate or Cityscape, somebody did a story.
Yes.
And you had blonde hair.
Yes. I'd like to actually, I think, go back to blonde hair.
Oh, Okay. Yeah. We didn't touch on that because that would be an odd bullet point, but you have had multiple hair colors in all the years I've known you, and you carry them all off of basically. Like, wow. You're like, oh, I think I should go back.
Tomorrow is my hair day, so maybe I should talk to Paula about we should just do it.
But you had blonde hair, short blonde hair.
Yes. Now, that is the only time I've had very short hair, but it was short. But it was so fun. I loved it.
Well, tell me how that, give me a little, 10-second version of how She Said Yes came to be. Were you just, having a glass of wine?
Yes, with a couple other friends, and we had a lot of friends that were getting married, and we always had to travel other places to find dresses.
So there wasn't really a dress store here? Ish. Uh-huh.
And so it ultimately ended up where Brady and I, brainstormed, and we said, we're going to do it. So we worked with the U of A. It was, right? It was.
Because you both had real jobs.
Yeah, we both had real jobs.
Okay.
We were both working in the supplier world, and we worked with the U of A and the chamber, and we built out our business plan and kind of ran with it, and it was amazing. It was cool.
So did you physically work there?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, nights and weekends. So, yes.
And was it as fun and glamorous as you wanted it to be?
It was
Because
it wasn't hard. Yes, it was so hard. It was so hard. It definitely tested our friendship, and I'm glad that our friendship is amazing. And I love seeing her live her best life in Houston, and that whole transition has been wonderful. And I've learned so much through this process. But it was hard. I mean, it was hard.
But were the
hard
dresses
work.
fun?
Oh my God,
Was that so fun?
And going to Fashion Week.
Yeah, like real Fashion Week.
Yes, in Barcelona and New York. And so it was amazing.
Yeah.
So there were aspects of it that were most certainly glamorous. I do think probably we were building out the business plan. We actually really believed the whole thing would be glamorous.
100%.
Yeah. A surprise. It was like, oh, there's, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of work here. Like, these things don't just happen. Okay.
Somebody doesn't just come in. I am the IT department.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know where the power button is.
Yes.
Yeah. How long were you involved?
That's a great question. I think 4 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's
From inception to, yeah, and it's still around. So it's great.
Is that?
It is cool. That's really cool.
I feel like it's always been in Rogers. It's moved locations.
Yep.
A couple times or just once. But I think that is neat. I feel like it's a family that owns it today.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I think is because you and Brandy are like family.
Oh my God. Yes,
so
yes.
I think it's totally natural.
Like my sister. So it made perfect sense. Yeah. Yeah. It was great.
How fun was
It was fun.
that? Okay. What did I not? You have 20 pages of notes. So
I like to I would say I'm an introvert, and so I have to go into situations having a little bit of plan. So I did come with probably, there's really 20 pages here, and we're friends. And so I'm not really sure why I thought you were going to ask me hard-hitting questions that I couldn't answer on the fly. That I color-coded, and I must say. I needed these notes. But I didn't want to, let you down. I wanted to make sure that we had everything covered. But
you could not.
We've covered everything. This is fun.
It is kind of fun, right?
Yes.
To just talk.
Fun. Yeah.
What I have enjoyed most about the podcast is every single one of them, except for the narcissistic one that I did on myself, is that I'm constantly learning.
Yes.
I prepare 75%. I don't prepare 100 because that's just not really who I am. And so I go in and I always put my foot in my mouth, and I'm okay with that because I'm authentically learning every time someone says something. And I love that.
I love that. I think we can learn from that.
Yes.
Because I know that's a good lesson for me, and that's something nice to hear. Because sometimes I feel like, especially as women, we think we got to be completely buttoned up 100%. So it's nice to see that you're saying that 75% is great. And then you just kind of go with the flow.
Let's be real. When I see people speak, and you included at Next Up or, I don't know, chamber events or galas or whatever, I am always so envious of those professional speakers.
I'm always envious too.
You sound amazing. You say, you know exactly what's happening. And I'm over here like, I love a microphone. Y'all are going to have to pray for my little dead hands. I know nothing good is coming out. I love a good mic. So I'm like,
that's so funny.
It's like a push-pull. I think it's like, you said you're an introvert.
Yes.
And one of my other dear friends said he is an extroverted introvert. But he is truly an introvert, but he has to be extroverted for work.
I think that's probably me as well.
100%.
Yeah.
I think you and I have talked about this.
Yes.
And I'm like, I can go out and pageant wave. You can too. And I'm not always there to do the wave. I'm really there to connect, I promise you, and hug you.
Yes.
And give you my all, even if I can only do a drive-by. But I am real happy to go get on the sofa.
Yes, but I feel like you need that, or at least I know I do. I need that downtime to recharge to be able to go do that again.
The social battery gets real low in the fourth quarter.
Yes.
And pretty much by the time charity ball is done and over with, I'm like, I can't people anymore.
I know,
but
right?
I need to.
And I just got the invitation for charity ball.
It's the save the day. It's so beautiful.
It's so cute.
And I think
I love that Hallmark does that. I think it's really cool.
No, it's Dayspring.
Oh, is it Dayspring?
Yes.
Okay.
But they're the same. They're not the same, but they are, right?
I love that. I think Hallmark owns Dayspring. Is that
I think think you're right.
Yeah. So it must have been the Dayspring logo that I saw, but I just think that's so cool.
It's Kathleen over at Dayspring.
Yes.
You know Kathleen.
Love her. Yeah. She's on next step.
So yes, she spearheads that for Marcy, which I love.
I think that's really cool.
I know, isn't that neat?
She's also somebody to follow on social. She does a lot of fun stuff.
Does she?
Yes.
Okay, I see her on about, but I don't think we're social people. Social thing is weird to me. I don't even mean it that way. It's like, I'm still 9,000 and love Facebook. And Instagram is like my fun space where I like follow, like I think famous people and I are friends. But like,
Clearly.
obviously, I am best friends with Taylor and Travis on Instagram.
Yes.
But Facebook is where I find out what all the old people like me are doing.
So funny.
And I love someone's like, oh, I never open up Facebook. And I'm like, that's kind of my first go-to.
I think that's where you get the information. And Instagram is where you get to see the pictures.
I love all the fun on Instagram, but I still need to know about certain events.
I agree. I do both.
And I'm like, oh, I just... But I
did notice that in Amsterdam like a couple weeks ago. I posted on Instagram, and I love that it'll share over. So that's great.
Yes.
But the other day, I was looking. I had all these like messages on Facebook, like, "Oh my God, are you here? You should connect with my brother." I'm like,
I missed it all. Like, you're the person that's like, I'm not opening Facebook.
Exactly. And so then I came back. It's like, oh my gosh, I missed all these like great recommendations, these great opportunities to connect with people.
I
didn't see any of it.
Go be old with me.
So
Ashley loves her Facebook too, and she's a million years younger than me, and she wants. And I hope she listens to this and listens to it.
She probably is an old soul, but she's beautiful.
100%. She's a nice soul.
Totally see that.
She's like, oh, I got to go through all my pictures before I post. I got to weed it down before I like create the synopsis and the paragraphs and the periods and the punctuation. I'm like, just post it.
That's what I think I love about stories is that you can just post.
Oh, totally.
You know what I mean? And you don't have to come up with any verbiage.
Right. You're like, scroll.
And here I am.
Yeah. And you're welcome.
Yeah, exactly. Orange. Exactly.
No question. Yeah. I love it. Oh, that's a good spot to end on because you love Ashley. We love social media.
Yes.
I still love Facebook. I know that's weird, but they're owned by the same company, so it's not like I'm choosing.
No.
And I love Instagram stories. They're fun to watch. I'm a horrible poster, but that's...
Same.
Or no, you're not.
I do a lot in stories, but for that reason, I don't have to put a lot of thought to it. Like, I can't do what Ashley does, where she sits down and tries to, here's all my pictures.
But it parallel. What story
can I tell?
Yeah.
Like, I want to do that.
Yeah.
But then it's paralyzing to think through.
Like, no, I can't even get to
but a story, I can like do a story. And I love at night just watching people's stories. Just
absolutely.
So cool.
Yeah. Do you get stuck on Reels?
Yes.
Oh, yes. That is a rabbit hole I can never get out of, to where I won't even let myself open it. 90%.
Yeah,
I'm like, well, there went an hour. I'll never get back.
I know. It's fast it's wonderful how fast time goes.
But I love that it makes me laugh more than anything. Because it's what I would just watch, like mindless, dumb, like people scaring people, jumping out.
Oh my gosh,
tripping and falling.
Yes.
And I'm like, this is good. I just created some laughter, and now let's go to bed.
I feel like it's all about laughter and connection. Like the Reels is all about the laughter, and then the stories. I feel connected.
Stories is,
but then I always feel weird because I run into somebody like, oh my God, I saw you, or da-da-da. I'm thinking,
psycho.
Do that.
Yes.
Nothing better to do to like this singular person and go down this rabbit hole. So when I see them, I know more about them than they do.
Weird.
Like, it's like, I know. Like, every time it comes out of my mouth, I'm like, why did I say that? Why didn't I just say,
like if I saw your daughter and be like, oh my God, yay, you for saying at Walmart on swimwear. She'd be like, psycho.
Well, she thinks she knows you, so you should be friends.
Yeah, we will be friends.
Yes.
That's hilarious. So I'm like, oh, they were at wherever last night. That's so psychotic.
Yes. No. With Lexi, though, one of my biggest pet peeves is that she does really well on stories and posting, but she won't say where she is. And so I'll look at a story and I'll be like, oh my God, that looks amazing. But I have to take the time to ask where she is. Why can't she just tell us? I'm at Blake Street. I'm at...
Is that for safety? Is she like being a really conscious person?
I never thought about that. So maybe I should walk that back, but I don't know. But I always like, I want to know where she had that amazing drink or where she had that amazing meal. Like, I want to know this stuff.
Do you have Snapchat?
And she doesn't. No, she does.
Okay, of course she does.
Yeah,
she does. So my 14-year-old has Snapchat because I'm like a super awesome mom that can't parent social media apparently. And he's like, and he figured out how to turn off his permission controls. And I'm like, he's like, yeah, I turned that off and I got Snapchat. And I'm like, feel like that was a conversation.
Like, okay.
I need you to turn off location. This is what I've heard. You got to turn off location. He's like, well, then people can't find me. And I'm like, that's kind of, but he's like, so-and-so's at the pole, so-and-so's here. No one knows where I am. And I'm like, we're going to keep it that way for now. But
Yeah.
so
That's something. Maybe
you can look up her notifications.
Yeah, maybe it's
chat.
in a protection program of some sort. I'm not sure, but I'm always like wanting to know where these fabulous places are. Then I have to ask every single time. I should just like type it somewhere and then copy and paste every time. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Because
You
I
think
want to
she'd
know.
know by now.
Yes.
So like just send it to you personally.
Yes. She should have put mom.
Also, Mom, I would start rolling if I was watching that on stories. Mom, this is where I am.
Oh, I know. I
tag that
think she should start doing this is for my mom.
Yes, that could be her hashtag.
Exactly. Because it's
Yeah, flip what we
just want to know.
Yeah, I just want to know. I want to go have that drink.
Yeah, exactly.
Share the wealth.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
Well, yeah, is it members only? I don't know. I mean, I guess that would be true for Blake Street.
Well, it could be, but I don't know. We got ways to get in. It's
Yeah.
fine. Okay, well, that was good. You shared your wealth with me. I love that.
This was so fun.
I know.
You're
I really
the best.
appreciate you reaching out. Or no, I reached out, but I appreciate you working with me on schedule so we could get it done.
This was so fun. This was like just having a conversation.
Self-diagnosed
Like, this
ADHD.
is great.
I
Thank
know.
you for having me.
Thank you. Thank you for coming prepared.
I know, we didn't even use it.
I know, not at all. You never once looked at it. And I'm over here like, and I love that. Okay. Tina with Conair, but also my fabulous friend. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you for staying with us. I say it every time, so I'll continue to say it. Maybe that's my new closing, but if you've hung with us this long, I'm super grateful for you, and catch us next time on the 3W podcast, home of the Who, What, Where. Thank you.
Thanks.